Welcome to This Week in Gaming. I'm your host, D Fury, and with me today is Jet
What's going on?
and Mavericks X888.
What's cracking?
Let's move right into the action. We're talking about Xbox rumors, always on connection.
Yeah, so again, for maybe the third or fourth week in a row, we're talking about Xbox, the Durango, the 720, whatever the hell you want to call it, having an always-on connection, and this time the ball was dropped by the creative director, Adam Orth, who said in a tweet that the Xbox will have some sort of always-on component with the hashtag deal with it. So he's saying, like, it's coming, and there's nothing you can do about it. Stop crying. Shut up and just take it on the chin.
Yeah, he had another quote. It was like, what was it? Like you buy a vacuum, there's a chance that the power is gonna go out. Hashtag deal with it. It's like shit. Damn, dude, ballsy. Like I know we're gonna head down that route at some point. Always on all that, but the balls on this guy just to be like a big old middle finger to everyone that's concerned about this issue.
Yeah, he's like, every device now has an always on. That's the world we live in. Deal with it. Like, is that really what you want to say? As, yeah, he's not the official spokesperson for Microsoft, but you're part of a company. Is that really the image you want to throw out? Is the arrogant, like, LO or Sony, and we can charge $700 for a console? Or Microsoft, we can have an always on thing. Deal with it.
I don't know. I just think we live in a day and age where people just don't understand the repercussions of what they say. It's just what comes to mind. I'm gonna say it.
The internet.
Yeah.
Well, what they need to understand right now is, yes, they're on top with the Xbox over Sony and over Nintendo, but that does not necessarily carry on. Let's just look at the big bad Sony with they had the PlayStation, they had the PlayStation 2. They were on top of the world. Who would have thought they would be crashing down with one little mistake, and that was with PlayStation 3 being way too expensive, and people, the consumers, decided, no, we're not going to back that up. We're not going to buy that. And if Microsoft really wants to say deal with it, I guarantee you people are going to go, no, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to pay for the money for the console.
Yeah, BioWare gameplay designer Manveer Hare, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hare, said in a response to one of his tweets, the Microsoft Creative Director tweets, "Did you learn nothing from Diablo 3 or SimCity? Some people's internet goes out right. Deal with it as a shitty reason." And that's exactly what we're talking about. Like, we know from experience, any DRM always on type of deal, Diablo 3 being number one in terms of fuck ups, number two followed very closely by SimCity. These things don't always work, and those are just games. Those are single entities. You don't have to use them. You can go on and do something else. But we're talking an entire device. We're talking an entire console. When that goes down, that means that part of your life is over. Like, you can't use it. You got to go on to something else, and that's something. Maybe the 720 is going to be your entertainment system, where you get everything through that. Does that mean you're completely screwed from everything? Like, there's a lot of
I would assume so.
Yeah, exactly. I would assume so, and that's a repercussion I don't want to face. Fuck you, Microsoft.
Now, this kind of, I want to give a quick example of someone who learned their lesson from this always online kind of thing. If you ever started your computer and you did not have an online connection with tied to the internet, Steam would not properly boot and not allow you to play your games that you already purchased and already have installed. And you just couldn't play them. You couldn't boot them at all. It just wouldn't let you. They have now learned their lesson, and now, even if you don't have that connection, it'll allow you to boot offline and play the single player. And that took a huge hit to their overall sales for quite a time. Not everyone was on board with Steam.
I remember the days when it was hilarious, because, like, you couldn't go into offline mode without first being online to go into offline mode. That was the best thing ever, and I was like, so that's useless then. If I'm not connected to the internet, I can't use Steam. Like, period. Yeah, that was stupid, and that's shaping up exactly how the Xbox is looking to be. I really, 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 really hope that by some miracle this isn't what's going to happen. But I mean, like, everyone's saying it. The Microsoft Creative Director, who actually, by the way, is no longer at Microsoft now, whether he was, kind of shoved out the door or not, we don't know. But, what is? I don't want to see this, but it's just everything, all the evidence, all the rumors, everything's pointing to it, and I have to agree with what I've heard so far. I haven't heard Microsoft say anything, so
I don't know. I'm still gonna stand by. I don't believe that this is gonna make it at the end. Now, is it a deal breaker for me to buy the system? No. My internet is shitty as it is, even though I pay out the ass for the privilege of getting booted off. Yeah, it's great. But I don't know. Like I said, it's not. There's no way. There's no possible way. We just do not have the internet infrastructure in place to make this happen.
There's no possible way that the PS3 was going to be $699 at launch.
My
There's no
God.
possible way.
Well,
They can't be
to
that
that
stupid.
point, to Sony, I feel like, yes, Microsoft is a little arrogant. Like, they're riding high. I was talking to a buddy at work about it. You know, Sony's doing well worldwide. The only place they're trailing is here. This is where Xbox just dominates. And I feel that they know, like, okay, you know, Microsoft, like we can do whatever we want, blah, blah, blah. The same thing as Sony did after the PS2 going to the PS3. This is prime time for Sony to take over. We'll see.
But, you know, the sad truth is, a lot of people will say, well, the rest of the world doesn't matter. And to a certain extent, you know, the Americans are the driving force of pop culture and all these other things. We are what is looked at. And yes, this sounds arrogant, but it's the truth. You know, you see people in all sorts of different other countries, Africa, wearing Jordan. Why are they doing that? So for them to be this arrogant, they're going to get knocked down. And I think all the hosts here on VGMU say, you know, this is coming directly from VGMU. This is a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, oh wait, let me just say this. We can almost for sure say that it'll all be revealed on the 21st. Microsoft set their keynote day for the 21st. They didn't say that they're going to be unveiling the Xbox or the new Xbox, but inside sources say yes, that's what they're doing. And something interesting was also leaked by a couple tech journalists that they're going to have two different models. They're going to have the standard model, which just be the normal console we've just come to know, probably has some large amount of internal storage and all the goodies that come along with it for about $500. That's to be expected. I don't think that's too high. I think that's a sweet spot. Any higher, like $550 higher, you're getting ridiculous. $500 is probably an okay launch price. I'd like to see $400, but $500 doesn't really phase me either way. That sounds about right. And then they're going to have a quote unquote subscription based model for the $300 range. Now I'm assuming that's more like, because didn't they release a newer Xbox that is more based on Xbox Live, right, or something like that recently? It was a while back. It was a little while back, but something like that.
Well, you talk about the arcade.
Yeah, something like that, right? I can't remember where it's like mostly you pay monthly and the price of the Xbox is cheaper or something like that.
Yeah, they were talking about doing that. It's coming. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
they did release it.
It was in
released
Microsoft
that.
stores specifically.
Right. That's right. That's what it was. Yeah, I knew it was something stupid. Right. So only Microsoft. Where's the Microsoft store? I don't know. Right next to the Apple store. And then, in addition to that, they're also going to be the rumor is at the same May 21st, they're going to be re-releasing a 360 for $100. If they can pull that off, that's pretty nice. I don't know how that's going to all jive, but I mean, it's either go out and buy a Roku or go buy a 360 for the same price. I don't know. I'm leaning 360.
Even when the PS2 dropped its price point to $100, it sold like gangbusters before that, and there were still people that just didn't have it. So I would assume the same thing would happen for this. But to the price point, $500, like you said, I'd like to see 400. I have a tech fetish. I want to buy both systems, but if both release at 500, that's just not feasible. That's just not going to happen. So
you don't want to drop like 1.4 for games, controllers, and two consoles.
God, nope.
Let alone the power bill.
That PS4 doing it. But the set date, the 21st of May, I feel it's too late. E3 is gonna be right around the corner from there.
Well, that's
PlayStation has all the mind share in the world right now about next gen.
That's what they're banking on is the double whammy. So they're going to do something similar. Well, my guess is they're going to do something similar to the PS4 announcement, where all they did was announce, the console in general. Not that it was like a surprise, but the console in general, and then launch titles, some, tech demos, but give nothing specific or nothing really too revealing about the console itself. Microsoft's going to follow up, do the same thing. It's going to be, tech demo, some launch titles, exclusive titles, stuff like that. But they're going to save all that for E3. So then they're going to have the hype, they're going to have the buzz, they're going to have the last word before E3, and then they're going to come in E3, and then they're going to be like, okay, all eyes on us, let's wow them, type of deal. Obviously, people are still going to be looking at the PS4, but I think they're trying to steal Sony's thunder by coming in right, before and kind of hitting it hard.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be really interesting if they do release this, but VGMU thinks this on the whole is a huge mistake.
I highly doubt, one way or the other, though, that they will release anything about the online only on the 21st of May.
They have to.
I doubt it. Like, the PS4 really said nothing on PSN. They said nothing about what PSN is going to be, how it's going to integrate with all this social networking stuff that's coming with the PS4, how the start, or not the start button, whatever the PS button is going to do in relation to how that recording is going to work. They didn't say anything like that. They just kind of glazed over, here's the feature set, kind of thing, and it wasn't specific.
It's kind of different where they're going into this conference with that always on thing just hanging over their head. Everyone's going to be thinking about it. It's the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
I know, and well, it's in my head. If I was Microsoft, if they know these rumors are not positively affecting them, it's not positive. They have to realize that, and they're people are not stupid. They're looking at there are all these focus groups. There's all they know if this is negatively affecting them. They would try to come out and debunk the rumors, but they're not. That says a lot more to me than it says to me that there's some merit to this. They don't want to spill the beans yet on what this online always is. Now, but again, it's too early. We don't know if it's going to be always online for the entire console, or if it's always going to be online for a certain specific thing about the console, or what. Like maybe you can't use Netflix without being connected to Xbox Live or whatever. Like PSN, you can't use Netflix without being connected to the PSN or some stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what all that always on means, but I mean it's going to have an always online component to it, whether it's the whole console or not. We'll see, but I doubt any of that's actually going to be unveiled on the 21st. It'd be nice if it would. I would like it if everything about the Xbox will be made known and available on the 21st. That'd be cool on May 21st, but I doubt it will be. That's E3 candy right there. That's what's going to be coming to E3. All the specifics.
At E3, I'd like to see just games. Here we go. Show the box. Let the price point go. Tell the release date. Games.
Chip.
All right, EA is officially named the worst company in America again.
Yeah. That really though? I'm trying to think of companies that are worse than EA. A few come to mind. Right off the bat, AT&T being number one. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't even have AT&T service. Never had AT&T service, but I have more trouble with AT&T than I've ever had with EA. The only thing really EA has ever wronged me in the past is SimCity. And they fixed the problem, and they gave me icing on the cake with a free game. I don't hate EA. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone.
No, I feel like or I guess we are the EA defense force. Boop, boop. Like, we're just coming in. Everyone's shitting on them, and it's like we're the level heads on the bracket. Like, yeah, there's EA, but it was up against in the finals against Bank of America 2 years in a row.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just house foreclosures and
yeah, you think that would be more of effect on your life than
yes,
games.
people are losing. Yeah,
right.
People are losing their houses left and right.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay. Last year, BP was up on there after the oil spill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's so much shit. Comcast is always up there somewhere. It's just there's all these companies.
I know,
and EA just takes the cake. In the final one, EA versus Bank of America, it was like 77% of votes were for EA. It was overwhelming.
Where do they get their poll data? Is it just from online surveys?
No, it's people voting. So that's the problem. It's the internet community.
Okay, I was gonna say that's why. That's why EA
That's
won.
exactly why. Yes.
Oh, that's shady. But I know, Paul, you specifically had one run-in with EA. But how about you? What do you feel? Do you think they deserve that name, that title?
Yes, they do, and I'll tell you why. There's multiple reasons. They care about money, but what company doesn't? What person doesn't? So I give them that credit. What really is the bad news bears is the fact that they don't give a damn about their player base for the most part. They do things because they feel they have to in order to win people over. The Madden is the start of it by buying the NFL and crushing 2 or 3 of my favorite games of all time. I can't play them anymore because they don't release because they bought the NFL right. There's that. And then there's the fact that they constantly take some of our favorite games and run them into the ground. And the reason they're doing it is because, and this is not necessarily EA's fault, but our fault as consumers, we buy it. We buy their rerun crap that they just keep pumping out to us. So they can go and make Madden 3000. They can go and make all these things because people will buy them. But the problem is it's just terrible crap. It's so bad.
What game do you love at the moment?
Laughing because I know exactly what the answer is going to be.
Battlefield 3.
What game are you hyped for that's upcoming?
Oh man, this is good.
Battlefield 4.
I've said this before, where yes, EA takes a lot of shit, but overall the games that they release are of higher quality standards,
Right.
higher ratings than every other company.
You can make the argument that, some of their big names, the big franchises have steadily been going downhill, but that's true across the board. I mean, any big IP that's, so many iterations in and so old is going to suffer from franchise fatigue. I mean, it just happens.
Yeah. But
So,
Paul's right. They have had the missteps.
Yeah.
The Madden one, yes, specifically. I love the 2K series. And Madden has just been terrible for the past couple of years. Past 5-6 years, in my opinion. But, I don't know.
But
EA always win. It'll be up next year. It'll win again. It'll be up the year after that. It'll win again.
I can't. They make so many great games, and I'm not saying that redeems all the kind of stupid shit they do, but me personally, they have not done anything to wrong me that they have not at least tried to compensate me for.
What about this? 007? Nightfire?
No, there's crap. There's always crap in
yeah.
everyone's catalog.
For sure.
Yes. But like what Mav was saying, the biggest run that they had this year to me was the SimCity debacle. But I knew that night.
Yeah.
I knew that first week I was gonna go in and I was not gonna be able to play.
Online game releases always fail. We're just used to it. It's not EA's fault. It's not Blizzard's fault. It's everybody who's ever released an online game has always had trouble at launch. Just for some dumbass reason they can't figure it out. I don't know why, but it just I'm trying to find a reason to hate it.
They gave out the free game, and from what I read, 900,000 people, took it up. And I don't know what the hell that math is going to be, but it's at least like 50 million if everyone got like a $60 game.
Right.
Out of
I'm sure most of them probably got one of the Dead Space, Mass Effect, Battlefield, or whatever the AAA ones are, the more expensive ones.
So they did right. They know they fucked up. They'll fix it. Now if Dragon Age 3 comes out and it's complete utter garbage like DH2, good God. I don't want to walk into the same damn cave with the same fucking shit. Doors closed. Oh, this one's open. Oh, okay, no. This one's closed. Oh, shit. Okay, whatever.
Damn. You don't like repetitive dungeon crawling? Come on.
Well, EA gets more shit than they deserve, but at the same time, they have not made it easy to love them when they make huge gaffes like they have. But again, are they the worst company in the United States or the world for that matter? Probably not.
I'll give you they at least deserve to be in the top 10, and this is the only gripe I really have with EA, but again, it's like you said, Paul, they're trying to make money. The whole, kind of moving towards microtransactions, the whole one thing, and this
day
is
one
not
DLC,
day one DLC, and this is not EA in particular. I'm not saying on EA at all on this next point. The whole gaming industry has a freaking problem with trying to get the most out of their consumers to an extreme. For instance, I remember like the day one DLC, obviously for Mass Effect. How much was that? How much was that dollar amount? It was a lot of money, wasn't it?
I think it was like 10 to 15. But
Yeah.
if you bought the collector's edition, it was already included.
Right. It's just it's ridiculous. Like I agree. If it's gonna be $10 to $15, let's say $15, it better be a quarter of the game added onto the game. If I want to pay $60 for the game and you charge me $15 for DLC, it better add another quarter to that game.
I don't know.
It needs to be relative with how much
like
content you get.
like 2 hours. That's all I would expect. 2 to 3 hours for a $10 to $15 piece of DLC.
I'm just sick of being charged, a quarter, a third of the price of the game to get an hour, 2 hours out of it. Like, I want to see quality, or make them quality. Like, don't make them garbage. I'm sorry.
What?
Right.
Wait, are you talking about like Train Simulator garbage?
Damn, I was gonna buy that on Steam. Shit.
So good.
But no,
He
like I
almost
would be
did.
fine if they hid the day one DLC in like a online pass kind of deal.
Right.
Okay, you buy
That's
the 10,
another-
you get online access and DLC.
That's another thing that irks me about EA is the whole VIP system with Battlefield. It makes sense. It does. I understand why like they do it. It does make perfect sense. But what irks me the most is that VIP status is not transferable, and neither is the game per system you're on. Because I wanted to use my VIP status on my PC account, but I can't because I bought it for PS3. Like, why isn't that transferable? And again, not singling EA out, everyone does this. If you buy something on Xbox 360, doesn't mean you get it for the PC. If you buy it on PS3, doesn't mean you get it for the PC. If you buy it on the PC, doesn't mean you get it for the Mac. I mean, it doesn't matter, where we look at. All companies do this. But it's like, if I'm paying for the privilege to be called a VIP, can at least be treated like one. Like, not be like, I don't know. But again, EA is not
I hear
the
ya.
only one who does it.
This is the thing, though. Like, gaming has started to do this, and this could be in the category of, Scumbag EA. The whole, I play Battlefield all the time, premium service. We're supposedly getting a premium to get to play this content early, and it's already done. Why are we paying extra to play it early when we're really not getting a whole lot out of the premium? If anything, we're getting to save $10 and getting all of the content. It's basically in a subscription. So really, there isn't a lot of premium content there. We are just handing over money for just about nothing. And the day one DLCs are a disgrace. That should not happen. If you had plans to have that in the game, put it in the game. If it's ready for launch, don't even launch it day one. Wait a while until people have beaten the game or are ready for it. Day one DLC is like spitting in the face of the gamer.
Yeah. And I've had this argument with you guys before. Like, literally the only thing that irks me about day one DLC is it's day one. Push it back 2 days, or push it back a week, 2 weeks, and it's not day one DLC anymore. No one cares, and that's kind of like a really fickle like way to put it. And
or when it's on the disc.
Oh, but yeah, lockdown. Yeah,
you gotta unlock it. Yeah, that's great.
Well, the thing is, Take-Two does a lot of DLC, and they did it right with Borderlands 2. They had some DLC that came out maybe a couple weeks after launch, and they are continuously launching DLC for their hardcore audience who is really into that game. For someone like me who's not really playing it, not really into it, it seems like there's a lot of DLC out there. But people are paying for it, and they're loving it. So 2K is doing it right.
It's definitely a right way and a wrong way to do it. And a lot of the big companies are falling prey to the wrong way in my eyes. But I mean, no one's really stopping them. Like you said, we're still buying it. We're still buying the crap. So they're gonna keep selling it.
Any hoozle. Moving on to our last headline of the day. Next entry in the Batman Arkham series announced. Anyone excited?
I really enjoyed the second one. I wasn't too hot on the very first one.
Really?
It's weird. I think a lot of people are exactly the opposite. I don't know what it was about the second one. Maybe a little more free roaming freedom. maybe I don't know, but no, but
Well,
both
no,
games are
I
good.
love the second one, but I'm just surprised that you didn't really like
It's
the
not that I
first
hated
one.
it by any means. It just felt kind of meh. Like it wasn't. It didn't wow me, but the second one did
Yes.
more. So like I I really put more time and really loved more the second one than the first one, just because it was a little more flashy. I mean, that's just kind of like generational thing. Like further we move and technology improves, the more flashy things get. But I mean, it was a little more flashy. It just
Open
felt
world.
more a little more over the top. So I mean, it was good. It was a really good game, and Arkham Origins isn't being handled by the same developer.
Rocksteady.
Rockstar, I can't remember. I think it's Warner Brothers, someone.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be Warner
Montreal.
Brother Games Montreal.
Montreal. There you go. Yeah. So I mean, not that I'm worried or anything, but if they follow the same formula of the first two games, they can't go wrong.
Yeah, from what I understand, yeah, it's gonna be the prequel. It's gonna be based on like Batman Year One,
Right. Which is kind of cool.
Yes, I'm digging it. It sounds cool. It's just what I don't want is it feeling too much like the first two. I hope they kind of tweak it and make it their own.
Right. The second one reminded me a lot of Prototype, but none of the bad things, or well, very few of the bad things of Prototype. So I think if they can continue to improve on that, it's really. I mean, they kind of got themselves into a good spot where like they've made such a good game, like it's hard to not deviate from it. But then we want to see innovation. So maybe it was a good idea that someone else is handling it. Maybe they can get their kind of own spin on it. Hopefully they don't deviate too far, obviously. But maybe Warner Brothers can kind of get their own little spin on gameplay or something, and bring a fresh enough to keep us interested.
Maybe I'm gonna throw something out there. Never really played either of the Batman games, so this game coming up, they're on my bucket list of games to eventually get to. But
As they should be.
and I know they're good. I've watched many videos. It's just you work 40 hours a week plus all this other stuff. Some games fall through the cracks, and that was one of them for me.
People still work 40 hours a week? Shit.
Yeah, I know, right? People actually have what would be called careers.
Shit. I just play games all day. That's all I do.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? But this looks like it could be good. It's launching in October. Obviously, it's going to sell a lot of units. Will it disappoint? We don't know, but we'll be there to review it. That's for sure. Now, as far as our stories done, we're done with our stories for the week. What have you guys been playing, Jay?
Guacamelee. There's a new on the DL. Just posted. Check it out. It's a PSN exclusive. It's great. Metroidvania style game. For those of you that yearn the good old days, check it out.
Yes, and we have a new series on the DL, on the download, where we go into a lot of these indie-like games. Jet is our main kind of reviewer. He's got the sexy voice for it. But it works great, and on the download, keep watching. There'll be a lot more episodes.
Enunciate that D at the end. On the download.
Dang!
Oh,
Get the hell out of here.
I don't even know this
Yeah,
shit.
you didn't even know. Yeah, you didn't even pay attention.
Shit.
I'm playing FTL. Y'all might have seen the Let's Play FTL. You can watch me play. I just fail miserably at it repeatedly. So if you like watching people fail, check that out. Planet-sized staple. Trying to get back into XCOM. Not that I ever fell off. It's just a kind of a game that I want to be able to sit down and play a while, and it's sometimes hard to do that with how busy things get. So I want to get back into XCOM. Really fun. And I want to talk about freaking BioShock already, but somebody is lagging behind.
Come on, buddy.
So eventually we will have some sort of conversation about BioShock's ending. So stay tuned for that, because I know everyone's freaking out about the ending, as we are as well.
So for me, I've been playing BioShock when I get the chance. Little bit of shenanigans there. I won't go into too much details. Battlefield 3 staple. Been playing some CS Source from old mates. We've got a good set of retrospectives coming up on the Max Payne series, so I've been playing that a lot. Same with the Counter-Strike series. We got a couple retrospectives coming up. I've also been playing WoW quite a bit. Got back into it, leveling up a panda, and that's been some fun times in any of my downtimes. One thing I do want to talk about that is not on the dock, throwing the fastball.
Curveball.
I love doing
Shit.
this. Upcomings, I want to hear. Are you guys excited? This goes straight to Mav. Company of Heroes 2.
Oh well, duh. No, got the shit pre-ordered. I'm mildly excited, and that's only because it's kind of taken so long that the whole Company of Heroes phase has kind of come and gone. Like I was really big into Company of Heroes maybe 2 years ago when we were still going to college. Like that's all me and everyone else did. Was Company of Heroes, Company of Heroes, Company of Heroes. It was a good shit. I mean, it still is a really good game, but it kind of wore off almost, a la DayZ, where like it's like, oh, it'll come eventually, but until then, I don't really care. So, but yes, I mean, it's shaping up to be a good game. Unfortunately, because of the whole, being sold and everything and all that drama, it's set it back quite a bit. But I am excited. But it's going to be one of those things where it's like, I'll wait to, the reviews come out. And I'll wait to see what people say.
I couldn't have said it better.
I have the skill about Company of Heroes. Not my bag.
Not an RTS person?
No. Now, next game I want to talk to, this goes right out to Jet. Because I already know he's pre-ordered it. He's probably going to play it for about an hour.
Collector's Edition.
Poker Night 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going through the Steam top sellers today, and yeah, sure enough, a page down, there it is, Poker Night: The Inventory 2, $5. Releases in a week, and all I need to know is that there are TF2 items. Do I play TF2?
Oh god.
I don't, not anymore.
Oh god.
But
it's made by Telltale, isn't it? Telltale.
Yes,
No
Telltale. Yeah, Telltale makes it. They had a great deal with oh god, who is it? Valve. They basically wrote a check essentially for this. They're printing money, and the reason is Valve knows the passwords to our bank account. They know how to extract money from them, and they know how to exploit it, and they will continuously do this. And people like Jet over here will do it because there is no control when he sees hats, when he sees items. Now, the thing is, now I'm not trying to hate on you. There's other gamers out there that are just like you. Now, Valve is getting extremely smart with this because they're now moving into another game, Borderlands 2, because the people who play Borderlands 2, and I touched on this earlier, they're addicted to Borderlands 2 like it's a crack. Because there's helms you can get, there's hats you can get in that game now, and there's all sorts of different little things. I've noticed this, and I haven't played it enough to really get down to it. I'm looking. You've got the assassin portal.
Yeah, that
skin.
assassin skin looks pretty fucking badass.
You don't even see your own character.
I don't care.
It's
like TF2. I do not care.
Shit.
The problem is I need to own Borderlands 2 to get all that jazz, but oh god, TF2 items. Shit.
You know what? This is a VGMU prediction. Within the next 2 weeks, we're gonna see all of a sudden Jet now owns Borderlands 2.
I thought about it. I've seen so many deals on it. It was on
Well, it was
Amazon.
really cheap, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like $25 for Borderlands 2 and the all the DLC, the season pass.
That's not bad.
And I still didn't pick it up. One, it's like I have no one to play it with. And two, I'm just not a big Borderlands person. Just not my thing. There are people at work that just go ape shit for it. Oh, I'm gonna go home and play Borderlands. Like, people still play that game? What the hell's going on?
As I said, they're supporting it big time. There's a lot of content being released. They're really smart about it, and they're making money. So this is a great way to build a small community around your game, is to just keep supporting it. And that's something that I think we all should, as gamers ourselves, continue to support and rally around.
Woo!
On that and note, exactly. I don't want to get sued. Sony or all these other companies will try and pull our videos down. Who knows what Top Gear could do? On that end note, though, I have been your host, D Fury. Thank you for joining us. With us today was Maverick X888.
Yeah, peace out.
And on the other side, Jet.
Yeah.
My God.
And Small Fries, thanks for joining us today.
I like turtles.
She likes turtles, evidently.
we didn't throw a question to her. Shit.
What do you feel about EA being a scumbag, Smalls?
Yeah, what's your take?
I hate it.
And thank you. That was the small fries moment of the week.
It's raining sideways.
Good night, guys.
Take it easy.